check it ein. Yeah. Conversation and sample flipping. That's the movement. Hit the like, subscribe, check it. Yeah, for the next minutes of live TV, you stop with me. Got no limits, I'm that vivid, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, what's up, kings and queens? We're back again with that episode, and this time we're going to focus on the Gininda. You know what we're talking about. What we're trying to do with this video, we're just trying to see if the investigator, the lead investigator, the top cop, the ace cop, the cold case investigator is following the evidence of the eyewitnesses, the people who saw the crime. Is he following that to the T? We're just trying to establish that with this video. Before we get into that, please like, subscribe, also share this video. While you're at it, hit the notification bell so that when we drop more content like this, you are in the loop. Right, without any further ado, let's get into it. Now, why are we doing this? Right, I'm going to read a little bit from a script so that we get the whole picture, right? So excuse me as I turn my head down to get more information to you, right? Why are we doing this? Our main aim is to pick up parts which contradict the evidence of the eyewitnesses. Why are we doing that? We're just trying to see if the lead investigator was accurate in presenting the events that happened as he relayed them in court, as he took them from the eyewitnesses. Let's start without wasting your time. We're going to start with number one, the time. We're going to concentrate on the time, but this one we're not going to spend a lot of time on it because we all know that everybody was claiming that the intruders entered at around 8 o'clock, right? Everybody was come to the court, especially those people who were in the house, including some of the cops, like Musia. They said 8 o'clock. Gininda comes in his statement, he says from 8:30 to 9 o'clock. Don't worry, I'm going to leave some clips at the end of this video so that you can see what I'm talking about. I like real evidence so that you don't think I'm bluffing, you don't think I'm making this up, right? We pass with the time, right? After the time, we're now going to look at. Now, before we go to the next subject, let me just read a little statement that I made. Now, when the brigadier started messing up the time the intruders came in, how many errors is he willing to make, right? And then what is his intention with presenting accurate information as it comes from the witnesses? What's the intention? Is he trying to present an accurate picture, or is he trying to distort the picture? Right. Let's investigate some more. Let's look at some of these contradictions where the lead investigator is directly contradicting the evidence that was led by the eyewitnesses, the people that is relying on to solve the crime. The next one, we look at the number of shots, right? We all know that most of the people who were in the house, they claim that there were 3 shots. What does the boss say? The ace cop, Starsky and Hutch, the guy who's, Mokola and Gininda. What does the boss say, Gininda? He says 2 shots. He just stays with 2 shots. Right, why? Now, this is the second direction that we investigated, and we found out it coincides with the evidence that was given by most of the eyewitnesses that were relaying the information to him. Now, what is the aim of the lead investigator? Why is he recording the wrong information? I mean, will that enable him to conduct a proper investigation? I don't think so. Right. The cold case commander has not presented the honest truth up to so far. The witness evidence, as far as the witness evidence is concerned, he hasn't done that. Why is the investigating officer misleading himself? Why is he not allowing himself to absorb correct, accurate information? I don't get it. I don't know why. Now we go to the third point, the third contradiction. This time we look at the most common contradiction that everyone knows about. We know that the intruders, when they came in, Zandile, Mtoko, and all the guys who were in the house, those who enabled Mrs. Steenkamp, the identity drawer, to conduct that identity, they all claimed that it was a revolver. Now, what does the big boss say? The big boss this time the big boss doesn't contradict, right? What he does this time, he acknowledges. In fact, he uses that revolver terminology in his affidavit, and I think he's doing that because he's trying to convince the judge or whoever was supposed to sign the J50 to arrest those guys that we are moving along with the evidence from the witnesses. But we go later to another statement that he made later, where he now claims this guy was found in possession of a 9mm, and this 9mm was the one that was used in the commission of this crime. So what is clear is the people in the house said it's a revolver, right? That's clear. And then what is clear is the guy, suspect number 3, was arrested with a 9mm on another case. That is clear. We know that. What's not clear is when did the 9mm get mentioned now by anybody from the house during this court case. Nobody ever mentioned that there's a 9mm that was used. Nobody ever came up with the 9mm term, even the silver and black one for that matter. Like silver and gold. Nobody said in the house. Nobody ever came up with that. Now we're trying to find out how did Gininda end up deciding that this 9mm is the one that was used in Mayo's case, right? We know why. They took whatever they took and placed it there in the house, allegedly. Why are we saying that they planted things in the house? Because remember when Mushato was testifying, there was some mishap that happened, like misconduct. They took a brown envelope and inserted it inside an evidence bag, which is supposed to just hold things on its own without anything being inserted in. That evidence bag is clear for a reason. You have to see what's inside without even touching it. Now, she was trying to convince all of us that that evidence bag, you have to put a brown envelope. Even the judge was trying to support her and say no, she never took it from the office when she said she took it from the office. Right, let's leave that. This is the lady that helped them to end up saying now they have projectiles from an 9mm. Hence, Captain Teta or Captain Mangena, the ballistic guy, was able to take those projectiles and test them and say they belong to this guy. But what's not clear is nobody in the house ever said there was a 9mm. So where does these bullets come from of 9mm? And if those bullets are of a 9mm, okay, where are the cartridges? Right. Let's leave that one out. We go to next point. Here I'm just going to place some few pointers across the table so that you can understand what's going on in this case. We are trying to root for the state. We are trying to support the state. But we don't just support or work evidence. As you know, as you're looking at CSI, FBI files, all those programs from the states, and as you see the way the FBI and DEA, whatever, when they investigate you get some kind of pride when you see how tough it was for them to crack a certain case, and this guy put in some work, and they finally cracked it. Like you feel like applauding, like there's some gratification in there. But now, if you get presented with this work evidence, and we are supposed to believe it, there's no way we are able to support the state like that. It's not easy for us. We need some tangible proof. Right. Here's another thing. Here's another of his claims, right? He claims that the identity resembles accused number 1, right? The guy with the dreadlocks. Now, and they went to that guy. When they went to him, that guy implicated a certain Marco Butelis, right? Now, remember, they came for this guy, claiming he resembles the identity, right? Now, as soon as they hear the name Marco Butelis, they ditch the story they came with. You are the guy. We are coming to arrest you. You resemble the identity. They ditch that story. Okay, show us Marco Butelis, and then give us your confession, right? Since you chose to believe this guy that no, he told you he's not the killer, Marco Butelis is the killer. You chose to run with that story. Now, present to us Marco Butelis. Where is Marco Butelis that you believe this guy was telling you about? Where is he? Because now you're changing your story. You're saying the suspect is number 3, the shooter. How did that come about? Since you are saying suspect number 1 was implicating Marco Butelis, a certain Marco Butelis, where is he in this case right now? Or is suspect number 3's other name, his other name is probably Marco Butelis? Is that so? Somebody just say that in the comment if you know if suspect number 3's other name is Marco Butelis. Now, we're just trying to, the question is, I've got 3 in fact. Since it was a confession that implicates these guys, and you know that a confession only implicates you, why is this ace cop relying on confessions only, right? Why is he contradicting? That's the second question now. Why is he contradicting? Why is he contradicting the evidence of the eyewitnesses, people who saw the event? Why is he putting his own facts there that go straight against what those people said? Third question. Why is the suspect that were so agreeable with the confessions and all, willing to take the time, and what happened for them to now decide, no, I'm no longer with it, I'm changing my mind, now I'm going against you? What happened? I mean, I thought if you said you had confessions, it was easy. It was just easy peasy. You just take them to the court and then they stand there on the dock and then they put their story forward. They agree with why is this there this negating of your version of the story? Why do they now disagree with you? Please, if you think you know why is this happening, put your comments down there below. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so that when you drop more content like this, you are in the loop. In order for you to support this channel financially, I'm not with the ads yet, but in a few I'll be monetized. But I'm monetized with the supers and the super thanks and the super chats. You can do that. Also, I have a membership that you can join on my channel. There's 3 levels. You can check it out there. The first level that I know is the easiest one for other people to join is self-appointed expert. It's the level 1, which is it costs around 3 something there, 3 rand something. It's per month. It's easy. This will enable us to be able to sit and take more time and research your content, give you the dopest content ever. Peace.
Is it correct that you actually read this? Sorry, you're the one who wrote the statement by yourself?
That is correct, my lord.
So did you read back the statement to the satisfaction of the contents that are contained therein?
No, I made a statement, my lord. It's my statement. I
Yes.
made it.
Usifundile le statement ngemva kokuthi usibhale uthi mina yimina ongisibhalile bekungenasidingo sokuthi ngisifunde.
Did you sign the statement
Correct, my lord.
Usayinile uthi yebo ngisayinile.
in the presence of the Commissioner of Oath?
That is correct, my lord.
Usayine ngaphambi komuntu obekade esichithiza istembu uthi yebo.
Is the statement binding in your conscience?
That is correct, my lord.
Leso statement siphethene sihlangabezane nonembeza wakho uthi yebo.
So do you correct the truthfulness of that statement?
Yes, I do, my lord.
Leso statement siyiqiniso uthi yebo.
The date in which you signed the statement?
It was 20 November 2020, my lord.
Usayine nini uthi nge-20 zika November 2020.
Thank you, my lord.
I am currently stationed at the National Commissioner's Office as the commander of the Cold Case Investigation Unit of the National Commissioner with the rank of a colonel. I've mentioned the service number, my lord, and the telephone number, which I would like to skip. Paragraph 2, I am the lead investigating officer of Phosphorus case 636 of 10/2014, which is a case of murder where one Senzo Meiwa was shot and killed on the 26th of October 2014 between 2030 and 2100 hours.
Paragraph 9. We all sat down and started chatting, making jokes. At that moment, it was around 2000 hours at night when suddenly 2 unknown African males walk inside the house from the kitchen door.
This deceased was shot at the house belonging to then his girlfriend, namely Kenny Kumalo. It initially appeared that it was a robbery gone wrong. Witness statements under oath indicated that 2 black males entered the house demanding cell phones and money, purporting to be a house robbery. 7 adults and 1 child were present in the house when the accused entered. It initially appeared that it was a robbery gone wrong. Witness statements under oath indicated that 2 black males entered the house demanding cell phones and money, purporting to be a house robbery. 7 adults and 1 child were present in the house when the accused entered. The witness stated that one of the suspects was carrying a firearm purporting to be a revolver. The accused was described as a black male with big eyes, dreadlocks, wearing a khaki or brown jacket or top and a hat. He was shorter in height than the second suspect. The second suspect was described as tall, slender, neatly shaven, and dark in complexion. It is stated under oath that during the robbery in the said house, a struggle ensued between Senzo Meiwa, the deceased, and the suspect carrying the firearm. 2 shots were fired by the suspect.
The third shot did not make more noise, as louder as the first and the second shots. I saw the suspects on arrival and their positions in the house. I was also in confrontation with one suspect who wanted to enter Kelly's room.
Esithathu ke noma ke uma sesikhuma ke ihlandla lesithathu isibhamu azange sikhumeke noma umsindo wakhona ke ufaneke nanjengenkathi iqhuma amahlandla amabili noma kulamahlandla amabili ke oqala.
One of the gunshots hit the deceased, Senzo Meiwa, on close range on his chest and exited at the back of his body. The second suspect, who is now accused 2, focused on the rest of the witnesses.
Paragraph 8. The first guy who entered had a firearm in his hand. The second one closed the door behind him. When the first suspect came to us, he said, "Kipani amafoni the man."
In the process, one cellular phone belonging to Miss Kelly Kumalo was robbed by the suspect during the committal of the offense. It is also stated under oath that suspicious suspects wearing specific clothing, among others a hoodie, were standing hidden away, but only a few meters from the crime scene prior to the incident appearing to be typing on their cell phones. The accused was further linked with circumstantial evidence wherein he, minutes after the incident, made disclosures and remarks at a family gathering he attended in Phosphorus as to the killing of Senzo, even before the death was reported in the media. He is further linked by means of a formal confession he made to the commissioned independent officer on the 30th of May 2020. In this confession, he clearly implicates Ms. Kelly Kumalo as the person who gave them the instruction to kill Senzo Meiwa. It is stated that the suspects fled on foot and the hat which was worn by the shooter was left on the crime scene. It is equally stated that the suspect hidden away, which is explained to be linked to the offense, was seen running away from the crime scene. Identikit was compiled through witnesses of this suspect. The victim was rushed to the hospital by the witnesses who were in the house. However, he was declared dead on arrival at the hospital. The incident took place between 2030 and 2100 hours. The accused was initially confronted with the identikit of the suspect with the dreadlock as the person resembles his looks. The accused was formally warned according to his constitutional rights prior to the questioning. It was under these circumstances that he decided to make a confession, but clearly stating that he was not the shooter and that he was standing outside. He further indicated that Senzo was shot on the chest. He was confronted with this knowledge and how he know the exact spot of the wound if he did not do it or was not in the house. He then implicated one Marco Buthelezi as the shooter and the person who told him. He further said he was willing to make a confession and pointing out at the crime scene freely and voluntarily without any undue influence. 3.2 Bongani Sandison Tanzi. He is linked to this offense by means of certified sworn statement he made to the witnesses and an identity kit complied through the description to the witnesses. He was identified as the person with the hoodie who initially stood outside of the house prior to the incident and running away after the incident. The involvement of this suspect was mentioned by suspect 1 herein above as equally involved in the killing of the deceased to the family of suspect 1. The suspect was traced through information received and was confronted with the evidence available against him. He was amongst others confronted with the clothes he was alleged to have worn and the compiled identikits During the questioning and subsequent search of the premises where ammunition found for which no license was produced. The suspect was arrested for this offense. The accused was warned according to his constitutional rights and then interviewed about the suspicion that creates the belief that he was involved in the death of Senzo Meyiwa. The accused immediately said that he remembers that the incident took place on the 26th of October 2014 and that on that specific day he was at work in Rustenburg. I requested the accused to identify the said place of work, which he voluntarily identified. Upon proceeding and arriving at the premises of his previous employer, it was discovered through evidence obtained under oath that this accused lied about his whereabouts. In fact, he was on absent without leave from the 25th of October 2014 to the 3rd of November 2014. Hereafter, the suspect indicated his eagerness to confess as to his involvement in the matter.